Lose 2 out of 3 to the New York Mets. What is wrong with the Dodgers offense? What will they do about Michael Conforto and Max Muncy? Bad defense by the Dodgers. Also, what did Shohei Ohtani say about throwing his first live BP facing live hitters, big league hitters off a big league mound for the first time since 2023? That's coming up next on the Dodgers Nation postgame show.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Tommy Tank strikes again, and the Dodgers lead 3-0. Gibby! Meet Freddie! Ohtani sends one in the air, the other way, back it goes! Gone! One-of-a-kind player! One-of-a-kind season!
What is up, and welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Thanks for rocking with us after the Dodgers lose 3-1 to the New York Mets. They dropped the series to the Metropolitans. They're still in first place in the National League West at 32-21, a game up of the San Francisco Giants and 2 games on top of the San Diego Padres. Right now in the entire league, they are behind the Cubs, tied with the Cubs, and they're behind the Philadelphia Phillies. So the Phillies, the best record in baseball, then followed by the Tigers, Yankees. But the Dodgers now tied with the Cubs and the Mets for the best record in the National League. And it was a sloppy game defensively by the Dodgers. The Mets capitalized on the bad defense all game long. The Dodgers, 4 errors tonight in Flushing, Queens. And the offense, they end up mustering up 6 hits. 6 hits for the Dodgers offense. Not a lot of opportunities with runners in scoring position. They go 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Landon Knack actually gave them a really strong start, and he takes the L. He gave up 1 earned run in 6 innings, 5 strikeouts, 4 hits, and no walks. It was a really nice start for Landon Knack, who was let down by the Dodgers defense in this one. And it looked like it was going to get out to a really great start. Shohei Ohtani, second pitch of the game against Kodai Senga, a Cy Young front runner. And it looked like, oh, this is going to be one of those games where the Dodgers, they show up early on offense, they put up a lot of runs, and they put themselves in a position to win the series. Shohei Ohtani, second pitch of the game, he gets a 4-seamer down and in, and he does what Shohei does, and that is crank a bomb. And this was an upper deck variety, his 18th home run of the year. That tied him with Judge and Schwarber for most home runs in Major League Baseball. That put the Dodgers up 1-0 early.
Offensively and defensively is at second, and that ball is smoked. He is now given up 2 home runs as he goes upper deck. Ohtani's 18th of the year. 2 pitches in, LA 1, the Mets nothing.
And then it looked like they were going to pour on some more offense in this one. The Dodgers really were in a really good position after Mookie Betts. He was safe after an error by Vientos. Freddie Freeman, he doubled to center. The Dodgers had runners on second and third and no outs. No outs, already with a 1-0 lead. And then Will Smith, he flied to center, mid-center field. Taylor makes the catch. It looked like Mookie scored on the sac fly, but unfortunately it was overturned, and it goes for a double play.
0-8 runners in scoring position average. This one is lifted shallow center field. Who's going to get there? It's Taylor in center. Betts coming home. Throw home. Safe is the call. They go to third, and Freeman is in there, and we'll.
So nice throw, nice tag, and then Teo ended up striking out looking. He looked at his slider down and away for the third out. So the Dodgers get just 1 run on 2 hits in the air. And look, I've told you this on the show, Mookie Betts, he's just not that guy as a base runner these days. I mean, he is not an above-average runner when it comes to speed. And that was a shallower fly ball. Wasn't the worst send in the world. Just a nice throw by Taylor, and you got to tip your cap. But I think the big takeaway from this one is the juxtaposition of innings early on. Yes, you had the fielding error that the Mets had on their own, but they were able to make up for it with good defense. In the bottom of the first inning, I mean, Landon Knack, goes out there, strikes out Lindor with a changeup, strikes out Viento, gets him looking at a slider. Then it should have been a 1-2-3 inning. It should have been easy, light work for Landon Knack. And then again, Soto, he hits one to Max Muncy, and Max Muncy just cannot make the routine play. It was 99.4 mile per hour ground ball right off the bat, right to Max Muncy, and it should have ended the inning. And then what it led to? It led to Landon Knack having to face Pete Alonso. Very first pitch, he hangs a curveball, and Pete Alonso did not miss.
On Muncy. Alonso now. He swings, drives one to left field, and the polar bear has put the Mets back on top.
That was solely on Max Muncy. And Muncy so far this year has already 8 errors after having just 6 errors in 80 games last year. And the defense overall for Muncy, let's just call it what it is. It has been significantly below average. This is not some take. This is not, oh, let's pile on Max Muncy. No, this is me bringing my facts to the fight. And the fact is that he is in the 1 percentile when it comes to outs above average. And this is before today's game. He's -7 outs above average. He's statistically, by every metric, one of the least productive third basemen in all of Major League Baseball. And that play, I can get it. Like, there's plays that are down the line that you expect the Arenados to make, diving stops and this and that, and sure, like that you're not expected to make these Gold Glove, Platinum Glove Award winning plays. That's not what we're asking Max Muncy to do. But the routine plays, I mean, where the baseball turns into a bar of soap, and you got to expect the routine plays to be made. And here's the thing with Max Muncy, and I guarantee this was the thought process by Andrew Friedman, this organization. Knowing that you have a $10 million club option after this season, the thought is for Muncy is, sure, we know he's not a Gold Glove award-winning defender, but if he can play average-ish to slightly below average defense, but slug, but be the 25% above league average player that Muncy has been throughout his career, that gets you 30-plus home runs and close to 100 RBIs every time it's a full season. If you're getting that version of Max Muncy, you can live with below average defense. Because what happens if you're a slightly below average defender, but you're a well above average offensive player? Well, then it means you're not above average player. But when you're below average significantly defensively, and then you're hitting 210 with a 96 weighted runs created plus, you're 4% below offense, you're below a league average offensively, then you're, by definition, not even a take, just objectively speaking, based on statistics, you're a below average player. So I think if you're Max Muncy, you really need to get the defense just somewhat respectable as far as just making the routine plays, and then hopefully the offense starts to come around. We start to see a normal Max Muncy season. But that just was not a good situation right there, especially after Landon Knack is going out there and he's pitching well, and you put him in a bad spot. And then just look, overall, the offense wasn't good. I mean, after the Dodgers scored 2 runs in the 13th inning on Friday to win extra innings, the Dodgers have scored 3 runs in the final 18 innings of this season, of this series. 3 runs in the final 18 innings of this series. That's really what has led to this series loss against the New York Mets. And then the bad defense continued in this one. Jump to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Francisco Lindor gets a leadoff single, and then Vientos, he reaches on an infield single, and then you get the throwing error where Lindor, he was safe at 3rd after the error by Betts. So Mookie Betts, he made a wild throw on what was hoping to be a force out at 2nd. That led to another run. So the Dodgers, 4 errors on the night, and then the costly one by Muncy there in the 1st, the costly one by Betts in the 3rd, both of those led to runs. And then on the flip side, you look at the New York Mets, they turned 3 double plays in this one. 2 of them just ground balls, right? And look, I mean, that is just kind of how you sum this game up. I mean, you got to give Landon Knack a lot of credit. He's just the 6th Dodger this month to go 6 or more innings in their first 21 games. So, I mean, 5 strikeouts, no walks, and just one of those 3 runs was earned You got to give him credit. I mean, he pitched better than Kodai Senga, who came into this start as the front runner to win the National League Cy Young. It was a quality start. It was really good, and I really was impressed with Landon Knack today. I'm giving his start a B+. A B+ just because, look, you got to go out there and execute pitches, even if the defense lets you down. Still hung the curveball to Alonso, but I think a B+ is enough a good start from a number 5 starter with this offense that should win you lots of baseball games. And then we got to talk about Michael Conforto. So Michael Conforto, I am starting to really, really wonder if it's time to kind of sell the stock on Michael Conforto right now, just because they've given him so many opportunities to get it together. And tonight he goes 0 for 3. Yes, Soto, he robbed him of a hit. Makes a really great catch there in right field. Did have the walk. But my question tonight is a couple things. I mean, consider this. In his last 39 games, Michael Conforto has exactly 1 RBI, 1 run batted in his last 39 games. He had 1 RBI since April 5th. I mean, this is someone that in the 9th inning, after Max Muncy got a 1-out single, and then Andy Pages, he ground into a fielder's choice. Pages stole second. That put Pages at second. Yes, it's a 3-1 game. And Michael Conforto up there, and you're hoping, hey, maybe he has a good moment there. Maybe he turns things up, and he kind of builds off that. But he goes down swinging at a splitter down the zone that end of the game. I mean, you got Hesson Kim on the bench. I'm wondering, why don't you just pinch hit in that situation? That's what I would have done if it was my team in that situation. And yes, you want to give a guy an opportunity, a moment, a situation where you can kind of turn that season around. But this is about winning baseball games. Look, the bottom line with Michael Conforto, I hear you guys. And it's frustrating to see everything he did last season, where 20 home runs, 66 RBIs at 130 games, was great outside of Oracle Park, hit the ball hard. Everything on paper pointed to Michael Conforto having a really good year with the Dodgers. And I felt like maybe he could be this year's JD Martinez. Maybe he could be this year's Teoscar Hernandez. This is a dude who's gone from being on a 20 home run, 66 RBI at 130 game clip type of season to he's on pace to hit 6 home runs and have 18 RBIs in 143 games. That is a fall off that needs to be studied right now. And if you're the Dodgers, look, they're not going to let Michael Conforto struggle well into the second half of the season. I do think they're going to give him a runway up until the All-Star break, maybe a little bit after. If he does not turn things around, I think that they will make a bold move, just like they've done, just like they did with Jason Hayward last year, like we've seen so many different times. Austin Barnes, Chris Taylor, Noah Syndergaard. I mean, there's plenty of examples of the Dodgers moving off the one-year guys or the guys that aren't under contract for an extended period of time, and they're not afraid to do that. But, man, that is rough. That is extremely rough. And look, I will be the first to say that so far I have been wrong about Michael Conforto. I took a deep dive into his numbers, and I saw what the organization saw, and that was a guy that was hitting the ball hard, and he was going to hit well in this lineup, talent around him. He's going to hit well outside of Oracle Park, which is a known pitcher's park where offense goes to die at times, and so far that hasn't been the case. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. There's a chance that it could, but right now it does not look great for Michael Conforto and this Dodgers team. They've lost 4 of their last, they're 4-6 in the last 10 games. I mean, they've lost 6 of their last 10. I mean, that is a rough stretch right there when you have been playing baseball where, look, yes, you have injuries, you're dealing with those injuries, and your starters aren't going deep into games, your bullpen is taxed, but the offense to score 3 runs in the final 18 innings, that is rough. Okay, guys, so that is the story here tonight. Dodgers dropped 2-3 to the New York Mets. But I want to hear from you guys down below in the comment section. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation postgame show. It's going to be a quick one, holiday weekend one. HSK starting tomorrow from Mix of Felix, Jason Jones. They sent CT and Barnes away. Now Conforto and Muncy need to go. Delirium 9. We are in a world of hurt. Conforto is on a one-year contract from not. Jose, if HSK didn't do anything, he'd be getting hated on too. We've got Aaron M. Sure, Kike isn't a starter, but he needs to play more and give Muncy a break. Yeah, I think that Kike did a really nice job at third last year when Muncy was dealing with the oblique and he had the rib issue that he was dealing with. And this year, he's pretty darn good offensively and he's still good defensively. So I wouldn't mind seeing some more Kike Hernandez at third base for sure. We've got Carl. Some of us thought Conforto was trash a long time ago. Guess people are catching up now. Paul Ringgold. Conforto is an all-time terrible Dodger. BC Friedman's misses aren't talked about enough. SK, get Conforto and Muncy out now. Damn scrubs. Bruce Davis, we all have seen this team's offense the bed for years. It's better to get this crap. It's better to get together this crap than not. Jerry, it's about time you realize that Conforto needs to go. I'm not saying he needs to go. I'm saying that if things trend this direction, I think you have to explore your alternatives. And I think the Dodgers will be doing just that. Kenny Chung says Conforto turned into Andrew Jones 2.0. Max Stevens, I'm done with punting games for Conforto from Rosemary Rodriguez. Jose Aguirre, Conforto probably getting the Lux treatment from last year with 100 or something at bats. Let's go Dodgers. Says, oh my God, why do we need to keep Conforto in line? Bad loss, zero energy from Ken. Marcus Anthony says, as bad as for Fordo is, ouch. Muncy is just about as bad considering the bad defense. Yeah, look, I mean, the defense, like I said, I gave the numbers. This is what Max Muncy had to say after the game to reporters about his play at third and his costly error that led to the Pete Alonso 2-run bomb. He said, it's tough. It's one of those things where I'm just really not good defensively right now. Not going to shy away from it, but all I can do is keep showing up every day, working on it, trying to figure things out, trying to get better. That's what I've been doing. That's what I'm going to keep doing. If you let it get to you, and if you let it get you down, it's going to keep getting worse. For me, I just got to keep showing up every single day and keep working as hard as I can to figure it out. Keep believing in myself that I know I can be a good defender. I know I haven't shown it, but I know I can be a good defender, and so I got to keep believing in myself and just keep showing up and putting in the work. So you got to respect the fact that he's saying what is true. He's saying what you're saying, what everyone knows at this point. He's not good defensively right now, and you got to respect that. I mean, you definitely have to respect that, but the truth is, hey, this is a Dodgers team that has a first-time shortstop, essentially, in Mookie Betts playing right next to him. And if you're going to have Max Muncy and Mookie Betts didn't have his best night defensively, he's still, I think, mastering some of the nuances of the game. And I still am a big believer of if Mookie wants to play short, he's proven so far this season that, hey, the same metrics that I gave you to tell you that Max Muncy was a below-average defender, those same metrics say that Mookie Betts has been an above-average defender. So you have to use that for him as well, unless you're going to cherry pick for your narrative. So I still think that is Mookie the best shortstop on the team when Tommy Edman exists and even Ha-Seong Kim? Probably not, just because those guys have been playing the position more, especially just infield in general over the last couple of seasons and even beyond that. But still, I mean, that is the key with Mookie, and I've told you about Mookie's offense. It's not where it's been, and we're looking at career lows and batting average and weighted runs created plus. But it's been better of late, and I'm not going to focus too much on Mookie right now just because Dave Roberts did say before the game that it's becoming basically impossible to move him off shortstop, and he said that he's an above-average shortstop. I mean, that's what Dave Roberts said. So right now that position looks like it's Mookie's for sure. As far as Max Muncy, I mean, it begs the question. I mean, you guys know where I was this offseason talking about Nolan Arenado. All you guys told me he was washed. And yes, the bat hasn't been great. He's been below average by a tick. The defense has still been elite. Would a change of scenery help him? It's possible. He's a right-handed bat. We talked about Ryan McMahon. I mean, makes you wonder. I mean, would Tommy Edman play third base as a possibility and have Ha-Seong Kim at second? I mean, they have guys with positional versatility. But I would be shocked if unless he turns this defense around, which he's capable of getting it to respectable, like make the routine plays. But I think what it's going to come down to for Max Muncy is they'll live with some bad defense. They'll live with some below average defense if the bat comes around. So that's really going to be the biggest thing for him. And I think that will ultimately determine his fate, because I think that what we learned a couple weeks ago, the Dodgers ain't effing around, man. The Dodgers are all about trying to maximize this championship window with Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, and Mookie Betts. And Mookie and Freddie aren't getting any younger, and you want to take advantage of the peak of Shohei Ohtani's powers. And we know what that meant for Chris Taylor and Austin Barnes. We know that this team, if they're being honest to Shohei and honest to everyone about, hey, are we putting together the very best roster we can? I think that's where you kind of have the tough and hard conversations about each and every position. And right now, we are a good chunk of the way into the season, right? I mean, I'm sick of hearing people say it's only May, right? I mean, you can't tell me it's only May when we're almost in June. And guess what? Losses in May count just the same. Losses in May, if they pile up and the Dodgers finish behind the Phillies or the Cubs or the Mets in the National League West, in the National League, and the Padres and the Giants or any team, right? If the Dodgers don't finish with the top 2 record in the National League and they force themselves into a short series, the Dodgers have a fragile starting rotation. And when you put yourself in that spot, it could prove costly. Last year, the Dodgers had home field advantage throughout all of the postseason. And for so many years, I was told, hey, D-Mac, we don't need 150 wins a year. We don't need to finish with 162 wins in the regular season because it won't mean anything in the postseason. What'd I say? So I don't care. It doesn't matter if you finish with 100 wins, but make sure you finish with close to the most wins, because when you do that, you set yourself up with home field advantage. And the Dodgers, you had Game 5 at home against the Padres, the NLDS, and it was a tight one. It was a very tight game. Yu Darvish gave the home run to Kike. Teoscar hit one later in the game. It was a tight game. And then what happened in the Mets series? You lost Game 2, but still you came back and you win it in Game 6. And then in the World Series, you win the first 2 games at home. Don't tell me that home field advantage in front of 50,000 Dodger fans doesn't mean anything. And it does. And games in May matter. So I don't want to hear that it doesn't. And yes, we know what the Dodgers are dealing with as far as injuries go. We know this bullpen and the starting rotation is going to look extremely different in October than it is in May. But still, you have to take games as seriously when it comes to wins and losses. And I think that we're in the evaluation phase of the roster right now and just looking at what this Dodgers team is about and what they're capable of. And they got to try to maximize this roster, man, all the way in. All gas, no brakes for the 2025 Dodgers. We got D-Mac was wrong about Conforto on Rogie, SMH, LOL. No, I'm just kidding. Major Chip Hazard. I think, look, the thing about me, guys, I put your comments on the screen. I respond to your comments when you disagree with me. I hope that you appreciate that about this show. And yes, I've said it before, I say it again. I will take the L on Conforto right now. And as far as Rogie goes, we'll see. I still think that, first of all, Rogie's never going to be an L because Rogie was the top prospect in baseball, and you got him for less than $10 million. I mean, Rogie could never pitch, and it was still a win for LA. I still have a lot of confidence that he's going to turn into the guy for sure that we hoped that he would be. Super Mex International, give me a bruh for Muncy's error. I got you, bro. Bruh. We got, did Pajes learn how to play center field? Is my boy all grown up? This could be huge. Defensively, he's been decent there. I mean, hasn't been as good as he's in the corner outfield spots, but yeah, he can play the position. Freedom 499 super chat. I'm a longtime Dodger bleed blue fan, but the way the offense is playing is not even close to playing quality baseball. They could have got swept this series. I mean, if they didn't win extra innings, they could have got swept. Chris, D-Mac, I think after the Yankees series, that will be the point where major moves will be made. Muncy errors, DFA Conforto, Rosemary Rodriguez. He's better than Conforto and left. DFA Conforto, 0 for 4. Conforto, 0 for Conforto from Nando. You guys are going hard on Michael Conforto on this one. All right, super chat from Sports Cards, Report Cards 199. Conforto is this year's Johan Ramirez with a bat. By the way, even though you guys are upset tonight, and rightfully so, I'm right there with you. Hit the like button for the algorithm and comment down below. We are going to set up for a pretty new giveaway pretty soon here. Talking about McMahon. D-Mac, what is up with, this is from JKid323. I can't wait until the Dodgers post a thank you post to Muncy because that means he's finally getting DFA'd. You guys going pretty hard on this one. But Joe Magazzini asks, D-Mac, what is going on with Evan Phillips? Okay, so Dave Roberts did say before the game that he is growing increasingly concerned about Evan Phillips. Evan has not played catch yet. Dave said he's starting to get concerned, not playing because he doesn't feel right. So he's not feeling right. And Dave said he's starting to get concerned. If Dave's getting concerned, that is very concerning. And Evan Phillips hasn't started throwing that throwing progression yet. He was placed on the 15-day IL with right forearm discomfort on May 7th, and that was due to inflammation in his elbow. And initially, he was going to be shut down from throwing for a couple weeks, but now we're past that, and it's starting to get concerning. Don't love that one. Blake Snell, he was off today. This is from What's Up with Snell. This is from Rob. Snell was off today. He hasn't thrown a bullpen yet. He's up to 90 feet, playing catch. Here's another question here from Tom Stevens. What is up with Roki? When can we expect him back? Dave said today before the game that Roki is going to start a throwing progression next week. And this is another one we've got from Tate Marshall asks, when can we expect Kirby Yates back? Kirby did start playing catch again, so it's going to be some time. Dave said anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks when it originally happens. A grade 1 strain. Hasn't dealt with that at any point in his career, so it's going to be a minute. It's going to be a minute. 104 in the Philippines. All right, I like that. I'm feeling that one. Dodgers, Alonso. D-Mac, what is up with the new guy that we signed? Okay, so yep, the Dodgers did sign Chris Stratton. They optioned Bobby Miller to AAA. Dave said they're going to use him a lot like they did Matt Sauer, kind of a multi-inning guy, a neutral guy. Stratton was released by the Royals on Thursday. He had a 7.94 ERA, a 4.74 expected ERA, made 12 relief appearances with the Royals, had 16 punch-outs to 8 walks in 17 innings. Hasn't pitched since May 16th. He's in his 10th Major League season. Dodgers are his 7th team of his career. He pitched for the Pirates, Angels, Cardinals, Rangers, Giants, and the Royals. So the Dodgers, they're doing what they do every summer. When Stratton pitches, he'll be the 28th guy to throw a pitch for the Dodgers this season. And last year, they had 40 pitchers with a franchise record. This year, they're on pace to blow past that. They've used more pitchers than any team in all of Major League Baseball, and it just continues. And to make room, what they did as far as roster moves, they DFA'd J.P. Fireisen. They had claimed him off waivers on May 1st from the Diamondbacks. He pitched in 2 games, and he was called up a couple times. Allowed 4 runs, 3 earned, 8 hits in 2 innings, had 2 punch-outs. So, yeah, don't expect a lot from Stratton. I think that Lou Trevino's been really interesting. I like what I've seen from him. But this is just kind of what the Dodgers do, man. They use these dudes like they're rented cars, man. You know how you drive a rented car? My dad used to tell me what's the fastest car on the road? It's a rental car because you don't care about it. You put pedal to the metal, and then if you dent something, whatever, I mean, you know it's not yours. So that's how you're going to use some of these starting pitchers. All right, keep down below in the comment section. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show, the #1 Dodgers post-game show on YouTube. Dodgers lose the series to the Mets 3-1. Losers tonight. Dodgers dropped to 32-21, tied with the New York Mets on the season. Still first place in the National League West behind the Phillies and the Tigers and the Yankees for best record in baseball. Let's read some more of your comments here. You guys are lighting it up. Shohei needs to stop hitting leadoff from Slim Typhoon. JGS Roberts should have told Conforto to lean into one. Jose Aguirre, so every loss being the end of the world. Isn't fans expecting to win every game? From Stephen Blevins. Blau K. Dave Roberts emotionally ruins young talent. Miguel Vargas was Offensive Player of the Week, but Roberts minimized him. Likewise with Michael Bush. Likewise with Sweeney. Kim is next. I want to say, hey, Miguel Vargas, if he has no fans, that means I'm no longer on this earth. Always been about Miggy Varg, and he's certainly looking better. Chris Moreno, D-Mac, I think, out of the Yankees series, they might make some serious moves. We got a 12-hour power nap. Even the training staff is garbage. Most injured team in the league. I wouldn't pin that on the training staff, really. I think that's a league-wide problem. We've kind of talked about this at length on this show. It was just, it was a really, really frustrating loss. I mean, even like they had other opportunities. I mean, fourth inning, Will Smith grounds into a double play. Andy Pages, he left runners on the corners with a chance to cash in. Fifth inning, you load the bases. Smith grounded out to end the inning. I mean, there was tons of opportunities to score runs in this one, but the Dodgers couldn't do it. They had Kodai Senga up to 91 pitches there in the fourth inning and in the fifth inning, and they still just could not get any runs across. I mean, it was just a difficult night, and the Dodgers offense just could not capitalize on anything that they were getting outside of that Shohei Ohtani home run. All right, we've got Carl, D-Mac. This from Blau K. D-Mac responded to my comment about a month ago as if it was ridiculous when I said the Dodgers are going to regret their re-signing of Dave Roberts. They aren't. Dave Roberts is going to Hall of Fame. No one's wearing 30 again as a Dodger. And that's going to be great for Maury Wills' legacy. But Dave Roberts is going to the Hall of Fame. He'll be as a Dodgers manager. I mean, that's not my opinion. That's what's going to happen. Clip that. Screenshot that. Transcribe that. That's what will happen. You don't fire Hall of Fame managers, okay? Richard Flores just waiting to hear from Dodgers social media. TJ surgery Phillips was successful. Knock on wood. Hopefully that does not happen. Alex, we just picked up another Danny Duffy. I need a laugh from that one. More V-Track. What Mookie wants, Mookie gets. He should be in right field. Claudia 11. I think there will be some changes to the lineup when the Mets come to L.A. YL D-Mac, what happened with Shohei Ohtani today pitching before the game? Okay, we'll switch gears, talk a little bit about that, and we'll get back to the game. Here was Shohei Ohtani getting some live BP facing hitters for the first time on a major league mound since 2023. And you can see right here, I mean, the life, he was having fun with it too. Smiling, facing, rushing, getting the punch out. Nice movement there. Look at the bat flip. That's JT Watkins. Thought I'd tell you about that. But, yeah, it was great to see Shohei Ohtani on the mound. It was great to see Shohei Ohtani take a next big step in his comeback to the mound. He went through 5 at-bats. He faced Hae-Sung Kim, Don Rushing, and game plan and communication coach JT Watkins. JT Watkins bat flipped on that walk. And basically, he didn't want to face the right-handed hitters, so that's why Watkins was in there. Shohei's become really close with JT Watkins. So, yeah, it was a cool moment to see that. And it was cool to see Shohei kind of be lighthearted about a lot of the stuff as far as just like going out there. He did the punch-out sign. He was just really involved. There was a moment where Hae-Sung Kim hit a line drive into right field, and he yelled to Teoscar Hernandez if he would have caught that. So he was having fun with it, but it was also getting his work done. He threw 22 pitches in the simulated inning, had 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, gave a line drive to Hae-Sung Kim, and every player said that he looked really good. And Don Rushing said he looked really good. Mark Pryor said it was a really good live BP. His fastball was sitting at around 95 miles per hour. He touched 97. The fastest pitch ever threw, by the way, was in the WBC against Vinny Pasquantino. Of course, he on the Royals back in 2023. And Dave Roberts said yesterday that the realistic expectation is that Shohei will be back after the All-Star break. So they're hoping that everything trends in the right direction. He doesn't have any setbacks, and that he will be a part of this rotation moving forward after the All-Star break in July. And Dave said that as far as will he throw another live BP, will he face hitters again? That's going to depend how he feels the next couple of days. So hopefully we'll get some good news from Shohei tomorrow that everything feels normal, feels right, and then we'll see something similar next weekend back in LA. And look, this is a major deal because I don't think that getting Shohei back on the mound is a luxury. I don't think it's this sideshow, this unicorn thing. Oh, it's so cool that he can pitch and hit. No, I think the Dodgers need him back. And getting Shohei Ohtani back on the mound is going to feel like getting a frontline starter at the trade deadline if he comes back and pitches like he's capable of. This is someone who struck out over 30% of the batters that he faced in his career. This is someone that has a career ERA at 3.01, and they need that kind of production in the postseason. And look, if you can get Yamamoto, Ohtani, Glasnow, or Snell, and then worry about the rest, if those three guys are healthy, this team's going to win the World Series. I'll say it here right now in May, because look what they won the World Series with last year. So it's going to be big time to get him back on the mound, just from excitement level two, just kind of the energy it brings into this clubhouse. There was a funny moment where Kike was giving him the pitcher's helmet that he thought, hey, maybe you could use this. But, yep, that is the story in Dodgerland tonight. Not a fun weekend for LA. And to end this show, I'm going to take all of your comments. I'm going to read like 20 comments before we head out of here. All right, here we go. Daniel, why are YouTube commenters smarter than Dave Roberts? Hey, it's like what they are. And you guys are the smartest and the best fans of the game. But I'll never forget a quote from Tommy Lasorda where he said, if I listened to the fans in the stands, then I'd be sitting right next to him. But still, I love that passion. Conforto is the Lance Lynn of hitting from Carl. Raleigh Alvarez. Fardo is basically still playing the Giants, just screwing the Dodgers. Yeah, I mean, he was always the Dodgers killer. Right now, he's killing the Dodgers. So we got D-Mac. How is Duffy's rehab coming along? Alex Ranteria. I needed a laugh tonight. I appreciate that. Matt Leiter says, that's why I lease all my vehicles. I like that callback. Dodger Dave, Kim at second base, Teo and Lev, Tommy in center, Pons and right. Am I crazy for this? No, you're not. I mean, Pages and right is great because you get the arm, you get the range, and then you have two above-average defenders. Kim, though, he needs more time to prove that he can hit, if we're being completely honest. I think he needs more opportunities, and hopefully he starts to get more of that. Slim Conforto is looking like Andrew Jones, but worse. I don't know, says Adam. The True Teller over on YouTube, they got to trade Muncy. He's absolutely a liability on defense, and his offense is horrible. Shiloh, damn you, Friedman. Why would you dump Buehler? Dude was the only most clutch pitcher the Dodgers had in the postseason. Guess we didn't need that, SMH. Buehler's been slightly above average all year, missing butane, but he needed that opportunity to go out there and get the big bag. Hosey offered worst 30. Well, we did not. Dead Mets thinking they're good. Let's do a couple more here. Super chat from Francisco Diaz, 999. Painful weekend. Scott blows a 3-run lead on Friday. Offense took the last 2 days off, and all I kept hearing was ESPN saying Snell and Glasnow not come back till post the All-Star break. Yeah, the offense was bad. I don't know if the Dodgers offense was at Hamilton. I don't know if the Dodgers offense was in Times Square. I don't know if Dodgers offense was at Madison Square Garden waiting for the Knicks to come back there. I don't know if they were still at the hotel, but the Dodgers offense was outside of a few moments. They were not at Citi Field for the most part. 3 runs in the final 18 innings of this one. All right, guys, couple more. Francisco Diaz. Also, what happens first? GTA 6 actually comes out, or O for Fordo actually contributes for the Dodgers? Waste of $17 million. Man, you guys are going hard on Conforto tonight. Hope you guys use the show as your therapy session. I'm not afraid to let you guys get out the real takes with how you really feel. And I really think that this is why, this show, I put the comments on the screen because I want this to be the real pulse of how Dodgers fans are feeling about the boys in blue. No homer takes here, right? We're trying to give you the floor here and let it all out, guys. I know it's frustrating to lose 2 out of 3. D-Mac, happy Sunday. Jack 42, appreciate that. Nando, what is up, Nando 390? You're crazy, man. I gotta go in this clubhouse to see these guys, okay? Can't read all these. Good job, Knack. Yeah, that was the Mitch Lotta half full take. Was that Landon Knack gave you a quality start, let down by some bad defense. Carl, thanks D-Mac for the best post-game show. Thank you, Carl, and thank you all you fans out there, best in the game. We need Luis Ariz hitters, D-Mac. Tony Logue, Walker Buehler, big mistake. DFA Ohtani to the Dodgers. Okay, I've heard it all, Stucco. I've heard it all. All right. Nando 390, D-Mac is not wearing any pants. All right, Nando, you need to chill. All right, you need to chill. First of all, of course, I'm not wearing pants. I'm wearing shorts. All right, it's summertime pretty much.
Bruh.
All right, guys, but that's going to do it for this episode of the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you have not yet, do me a huge favor. Subscribe to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the Discord. Subscribe to the Big Lead. And also, for me, have yourself a great Memorial Day. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Appreciate you guys, best fans in the game. Tough one tonight. We'll get through this thing, this little slide together, and we'll be having fun tomorrow. I think they get back on the schneid and get back on the winning side, back to their winning ways, and hang a W in the dub column. But be back tomorrow, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. Have a great Memorial Day. And remember that nothing brings together quite like Dodger baseball. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Doug McKain here signing out. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
And when the upcoming winter gives way to spring, rest assured, once again, it will be